checking. There we go. Now we are good. 4, 5. Okay, here we go. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
She's climbing my leg.
D&D Beyond. Edit. Okay. Just waiting on you guys' questions. Character sheet. Features and traits. Feats. Yeah, it's tough. Hello, hello. So you met a girl on Tinder. You guys had a connection, but then she started getting angry. Well, the reasons for her anger maybe had something to do with you, but maybe not. But the fact that she felt comfortable expressing that anger to you is probably not a good sign. You're going to have some more detail there. You're going to have to give me something a little bit more. In that instance, you would want to share screenshots, which obviously you can't do from here. You would have to be able to show me. If at some point in this call, you can send me an email, hector@girlschase.com, with screenshots of the texts, I can see exactly what was going on. Or can I get on my Instagram DMs? 1 second. Let me see if I can get on my Instagram from here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can get on my Instagram. So send me screenshots. Real Hector Castillo. Send me screenshots. Because I actually have to see what it looks like, you know? Because guys could say, well, girl's acting this way, she's acting this way. And I was always the one saying sorry every night. We would end the night well, happy and satisfied. All right, I'll wait for the screenshot when you're ready. Kirk, hey man, good to see you, buddy. Yes, sir, I am back. Everything is going pretty well. Everything's going well. Okay, 1 second. Okay. I accepted it. Let's see what you got. Okay, let's see. Seriously, didn't even make sense. You approached me one fine day when I was on my way to my college, and you're the one who can't appreciate me full-heartedly. Sleep. Okay, but what I'm missing here is where you're just showing me the problem, right? So, um, okay, so he's sending me all the screenshots, right? Um, and he's showing me where like the drama starts, right? But what I'm interested in is what happened before that. What insecurities were you pointing out? You're not showing something. Cuz the way that this is being texted, first of all, you're getting way too emotional with this girl. I mean, this is a lot of texting for a girl. There's something missing here. There's something missing. You had to have said something. There's no way this is just randomly being said. Show me the text before. Face shape. Why are you even give me those texts. Yeah. give me Give me the text, dude. I'm pretty sure you just said some dumb shit. Give me the text. Show me the text, like just a few before. See, he showed me the text of like the problem, right? Where she's, I can't show them right now. 1 second. I mean, it's just her first name, right? You know what? I'll make a video of these, right? But here's the text, basically. I'll just say them, and then I'll make a video where I, like, edit everything out. So he sent some link, and she's like, but then you end up pointing out every little insecurity of mine, and I feel like not sending one. Pictures, I'm assuming. I forgot things very easily. Now send a pic fast. Okay, first of all, don't say that. No. Baby, when did you start saying no? Obviously, it's easier for you to forget. I don't, like... You already know you're perfect as you are. BB, send now. Actually, I won't. I've worked on loving myself after criticizing little things about myself. You reminding me of it isn't helping. If you get insecure from things I say I'm really sorry for, I don't know what to say now. You seriously didn't even make sense. You approached me one day when I was on the way to my college, okay? And you're the only one who can... And you're the one who can't appreciate me full-heartedly. Blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, what's going on? What's all these things? Blah, blah, blah. Drama, drama, drama. But. And then the next day she apologizes. And she's saying, you know what? Last night I overreacted. It's my fault. You should go find someone else. I'm sorry for the one night I said that, but I can't keep listening to you acting like you don't like me every single night. Okay, and then you ended things. What the fuck? So this is one of those scenarios where like a guy's texting a girl and it's really dramatic. And it just doesn't make any sense. So what do you mean you were criticizing her face shape or her dark circles? So you're pointing out her insecurities? So basically, you were on a call with her. You started, yeah, of course it's auto rejection, right? So you just started pointing out things that are like not perfect about her. And then it doesn't make sense because you approached her. So you cold approached this girl, right? I met a girl on Tinder, but you met her on Tinder. But she's like, you approached me one fine day. So you approached her on Tinder, okay. So I really want to focus on the thing that she's mad at. You're only showing me the aftermath. So this is something that a lot of guys do. Where stuff goes wrong. And guys are left wondering like, hey, here's the fire like burning the house down. And I'm like, okay, can you show me like when the match was lit? Well, you know, it was this or was that? It's like, I mean, that's the most important part is how the fire got started in the first place. And then you're asking me, oh, should I end it? I mean, the only reason you should end it with a girl, even when there's drama, is if the drama is too much. But if you're the one causing the drama, then you can't really say that the drama is too much. I mean, you're the one causing it. I mean, the only reason she's bringing up this stuff is because you're making comments about her. I mean, what were you commenting about? Dark circles under her eyes? I mean, her face shape? Were you saying that, like, why would that even be a thing to talk about? Like, I don't even know how that comes up in conversation. What are you looking at? You're like on a video chat with her, and you're just like, oh yeah, you got dark circles under your eyes, or you got a funky ass face shape. I don't know, like, how does it even come up in a conversation? Like, I'm just confused how you got here in the first place, dude. I mean, if you're on a chat with a girl, you just call her pretty. Like, hey, you're beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Show me boobs. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing, man? So, I mean, actually, whenever she sent me a pic, I always unintentionally would joke about her dark circles and little everythings. I didn't know she was insecure about it. Well, I mean, I mean, dude, it's her face. I mean, girls are pretty. I mean, okay, like imagine. Okay, imagine a girl's on a call with you, right? And you have a mole on your face, right? And she's like, oh, you got a mole on your face. And you're like, yeah. And she's like, oh, haha, yeah, you got a mole on your face. It looks like you have I don't know, like you were eating chocolate ice cream and you dropped a bit of chocolate on your face. Ha ha ha. And you're like, yeah, ha ha. And you're like, and then you think about it for the next like 20 minutes. You're like, why is she pointing out the mole on my face? And then, I smile a weird way and I have a snaggle tooth. She's like, oh, you got a funny tooth when you smile. And you're like, okay. And she's not outright insulting you, right? But she keeps pointing out these things. And you start to think, like, what the fuck? You're going to think that she's criticizing you. And then it just doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, you should know that people are sensitive. Especially women, especially about their looks. And when you always have to understand there's an implicit communication behind things. So when you point things out, you're saying something about them. Because clearly you might have actually been criticizing them. Maybe she's not as pretty as you'd like. So I don't think you should worry about ending it or not ending it. I think you just need to figure out how you're communicating with people, right? But I guess if you want to end it or not, I mean, no, I mean, it's your fault. I mean, is she overreacting? Probably a bit, yeah, but I would say maybe not. I think you're just communicating weird. So I think you should apologize to her, and then stop pointing shit out. Very simple. And then just go on a date with her. Okay, now let's move on. I was traveling some months back, staying at hostels. How could you pool girls in a hostel traveling life? I was hanging out with a German girl in the hostel and had some organized group events. How do you set up the logistics for a pool? So basically, hooking up in the hostel, like the way I saw it happen, or like how one girl, I was in Barcelona and she was working there. And she came in to like just check on the room. And I said, hey, she's like, oh, I'm just coming in to check, da-da. I'm like, oh, okay, how long you been working here, da-da-da, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Austria, but, I just worked here for the summer or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, by the way, you're really cute. She's like, oh, thank you. And she was very flirty. Like, she came in very close. She was obviously showing a lot of interest. And then I was just like, hey, we should go out sometime. She's like, sure. So I started with a traditional approach, right? I didn't try to think of anything too fancy. So then I got her phone number. And then that night, I think everyone was going to hang out like in the living room area. And she's like, oh, come hang out. And I'm like, okay. So everyone's like sitting around chatting, getting to know each other, and she's sitting on the couch, and she's just really, really pretty Austrian. Like, I'd say beautiful, even Austrian girl, and so German, pretty similar, right? So we're in a similar situation, and I'm sitting on the couch, and there's this guy who's working with her, and he just walks up, and he's like over the couch, like behind it, and like leans over, staring down at her, and just says hi. And she looks up like, hi. And I was like, okay, this guy's like in love with this girl. And he was trying to be sweet and cute, but clearly she wasn't interested. And then at some point, I'm just relaxing, and she looks at me and she's like, hey, I'm going to go for a smoke outside. Do you want to come with me? And I said, sure. And we go outside, she rolls a cigarette, and we just chat. And I don't really make any moves because I know that that situation is not going to escalate, right? She's going to want to go back. Maybe she's actually on the clock, da-da-da. So don't make a move there. What we did is a few days later, we're texting. I think I left the place at that point. And then she was finishing up her work there. I think she was leaving in the next week or two. So then I said, hey, let's figure out that coffee. She said, okay, I'll let you know. Eventually she let me know. We had a date, blah, blah, blah. We hooked up. So it was at a hostel. So a place where like things are going to move pretty quick because everyone's kind of floating in and out. But it was just a traditional date setup. Another time I was in Czech Republic traveling around with my dad, actually. And there was these two British girls. And I got their number, and then they were leaving that hostel. Or we were only staying for one night in that one. I'm going to switch to another one, a different night. And so I got their number or Facebook, and I started chatting with them like, hey, girls going out. They're like, yeah, we're going out. You should join us, da-da-da. So I showed up. Immediately, they were both really flirty, but then I started focusing on the one that I liked. And then we just started like flirting all night, making out, and then, went back to the hostel, and we couldn't find a room, so we ended up just doing it in public. So that's another option, right? But another time I was in Sweden, I didn't do the pool. It was a different guy, and we all went out as a group, and she kind of started gravitating towards this guy and liking him. He was American too. She was, I don't remember what. She might have been German, actually. And I kind of flirted with her, but didn't really get anywhere. And then she really liked him. And then I remember we're going back to the hostel, and his friend had already left with her roommate to hook up. And they went back to his room, the guy's room. So then the guy was in the elevator, and he's like, yeah, I really don't have anywhere to stay. Kind of wink, wink. And then she's like, well, you can stay in our place if you want. And he's like, all right. And so he went with them, and then that girl had her roommate there. So I don't know if they actually ended up doing it. The next morning I saw her, and she seemed very angry. Like, she seemed like pissed off, like very standoffish. I don't know if that was just around me, or if like she didn't get what she wanted and she got pissed. Not really sure. The guy must have not have like pushed for it, So there's different ways that you can do hookups in hostile situations. You can just do traditional, like, we're going to have a date. But if they're leaving really fast, invite them out, like, to go grab drinks that night. Or go out with the group and then pull her from the group, kind of like a social circle situation. But setting up the logistics, the problem with hostels, as you understand, is that a lot of people are in one room. So that was one thing that I had trouble with a different girl who I met in the Czech Republic also that week. And she was an Italian-American chick. And we met during like a bar crawl, started chatting, and we figured out we were going to hook up. We went back to her place to grab some stuff for her because we were going to like hook up. And then we looked for a hotel. because she was in a room that had like 10 people in it. So obviously nothing's going to happen there. So that's a situation where, yeah, you're not going to hook up in front of a bunch of people. I mean, I'm sure it happens, but I don't know. It's kind of trashy. I wouldn't feel very comfortable, but I'm sure some people do it. But yeah, I would definitely, you know, I mean, if you have money, that's great. Just go grab a fucking hotel or a single hostel room, you know. So, you know, hook up in public, but, you know, if you get arrested, that's on you. You know, find another room, go back to their room if no one's there. I mean, you know, another chick that I met in a hostel, an Italian girl, while I was in Romania before I settled there. We went out to started flirting, and then we went out, and then we had some dinner, and then I talked about getting a hotel, but she didn't feel comfortable with that. But she was comfortable with like doing it behind a building. So, you know, there's a lot of different ways you can go about things. Hector, I've been thinking direct game is really time efficient. However, over a long term, being direct makes you less mysterious and even predictable. Attainability goes up, value goes down, other way around. Attainability goes down, value goes up. Because if you're good at it, you're very, very charismatic because you're super direct and you're unafraid to say what you want. The only way value goes down is if you're creepy about it. But if she's interested, it's actually super high value. Attainability is the issue. So what you do with that is you be more romantic and more sweet, and you get to know her. Like, think of being direct as like a big punch. You only need a few of them, because if you're throwing a lot of big punches, I mean, you're going to waste a lot of energy. You only need one punch to knock someone out, right? So that's like being direct, showing a lot of interest. You only need to do it a few times. The rest of it is just about little jabs here and there, right? And like wrestling and setting things up. So you want to be spending most of your time getting to know her and making her, you know, making a strong connection with her. Make her feel understood. And then when you do show a lot of interest, it won't just be, oh, he's just another, you know, fuckboy trying to get in my pants. There's actually some true connection behind it. Even if you do want something casual, and she does too, she still wants a connection. But if it is a situation where attainability, meaning like she feels like you actually care about her, is low or up high, like you're showing too much interest and your value is the one that's struggling, then I would say pull back completely. Like if you're showing all this interest and you feel like she's not respecting you and not showing interest, and your attainability is too high and your value's down now, then I would say just pull back interest. Just be very calm and stop giving compliments. Hi, Hector. Hope you're well. How about some gaming streams? Yeah, that would be fun. I would like to do some gaming streams. Not at the moment. I'm kind of waiting to like get everything else set up, like make this live stream thing more consistent. And I don't know if I'd do it on the Girls Chase channel. I'd probably do it on my personal channel. But I gotta, you know, I try to focus on a few things at once. Gunwitch, is his health okay? I don't know. I'm not in touch with Gunwitch. I used to be on a Facebook chat with a lot of different guys, but I left it. So I don't know what's going on with him. Hey Hector, the one-day system advice is to build arousal to break. You can build arousal by breaking rules, but it's hard and practical to break rules in all situations. Like if you're having a date in a coffee shop, for instance. So what are some more practical ways to break rules or build arousal? I mean, breaking rules is just like, I don't know, like she has to go to the bathroom. And you know, the girls is full, but the guys is open. You can be like, hey, just go in the guys. She's like, no, I can't do that. Be like, just go. It's okay. I'll watch out for you. Like, it's such a small thing, because you're not supposed to go in. But, like, if you could just get her to do it, it's cute. Or, like, I remember this one chick I met on a campus, and we started making out, and then I pulled her into some building. We started hooking up in the building. So that's like breaking the rules, right? So you're only going to break rules if it's, not something where you're actually like hurting anybody or stealing or anything like that. I mean, you're not going to go to a coffee shop just so you can, I'm going to turn her on and you just start stealing shit, you gotta think if it's a stupid rule, if it's like a moral rule, right? I would focus on other ways to arouse girls. I would think of more simple ways, like fix your fashion, fix your, like, the way you present yourself, the way you talk to her, your eye contact. That's what you should focus on first before these. Those are very like nuanced, what's the word? Conditional things? No, I don't know how to say it. Like circumstantial. I'm broke right now, can't afford your coaching, and also can't afford Patreon. Can I get my woman thing handled just by reading your books? Yeah, you could do. If you have a good direction, like with my texting book. My texting book will help you with all texting situations. Like the guy who asked for like screenshot analysis earlier, like if he's clearly not reading my texting book, right? So if you read my texting book, you're gonna save yourself a lot of struggles, right? So let me get that. Texting book. Where's texting book? There it is. So here's my texting book. As always, you guys should get it. It's super cheap. And if you just follow that, you won't need my help with texting. But like anything else, even if you know what you're supposed to do, you still make mistakes. Like, it's understandable. As for like Social Circle, my college book would do really good. I'll have the second edition out sometime soon. Next few months. I'm like a third of the way now through the second edit. So I'll try to speed that up, but then I have to get it formatted, and I want to have someone proofread it, and blah, blah, blah. Does Chase offer any boot camps or personal coaching? He does do he does phone coaching right now. I don't think he does boot camps, but he does do personal coaching. If you're interested in that, you should email this email, support@girlschase.com. And you can get in touch with our customer service representative, and they will put you in touch with Chase's prices and whatnot. What I meant by long term is over months. Like, did you know her? You're in a relationship, for an example. I made it as a girl. Oh, you're talking about the example earlier. Yeah, with the guy. Yeah, he was clearly making her uncomfortable. Yeah, with his comments. Oh, okay, Kirk. So this is back to the hostel situation. I unintentionally separated from the hostel group with a German girl at a comedy bar, but didn't know how to set up any logistics, so it never escalated. Didn't give any compliments, just drink and talk. Well, that's your problem. So you need to start, if you want to be better at seduction, you need to, I think at this point you should just start trying things. This is actually what we've talked about a lot. Not quite your normal problem that you had for a long time. Where you were like showing too much interest, right? So it seems like maybe you actually started to finally get that advice. I have a feeling the way you're talking seems like that's not your problem anymore. So now your issue is something actually in the other direction. You just need to start taking action. So before you were kind of trying too hard with your verbal game, right? If I remember correctly, the thing that we were always, your sticking point was you were always trying to do this fuckboy, smooth boy kind of verbal game. especially over texting, and you were showing way too much interest, like verbally, and chasing and being way too persistent. And we wanted to work on trying less hard, right? So maybe now you're actually in the other direction where you're like taking it really chill, which is good, right? And you're probably getting a lot more interest. So now what I want you to do is I don't want you to swing back to the direction you were at. I just want you to take a little bit step back in that old direction, just like a couple steps. But instead of with your words, just with your actions. So keep doing what you're doing now, which I think is probably working. Because if she's separated from the group with you, she's interested in you, right? She wants to go one-on-one with you. So you're doing something better now. Like, girls are showing more interest. Now what I want you to do is keep your same level of how you're demonstrating interest, but just start taking action, right? So you don't have to give her any compliments. Like, you're just talking to her, chilling with her, and you're thinking, okay, I don't have any logistics. Well, here's one thing you can do: just kiss her. Test the waters, right? See the compliance level, right? Because if a girl's not willing to kiss you, she's probably not going to be hooking up with you, right? So you're alone now. There's no one watching, so you can kiss her, right? There's no risks. There's not other people in the hostel going to see her kissing you and think, oh, yeah, look at this fucking slut. So you kiss her, and then you figure out, okay, like, where can we go from here? Or you can just say, you can just escalate. You can just say, hey, why don't we go somewhere a little more private? Well, what are you thinking? And start chatting with her. Try to be more cooperative. Like what I did, because it is a hostel situation, she's a bit more understanding of what's going to go on. Like with the girl who was the British girl who I ended up hooking up with, we went back to her hostel, and she was like, yeah, there's like 8 people in my room. I'm like, okay. And I asked the guy, I was like, hey man, do you have any like solo rooms? She's like, not really. He's like, the only thing we could offer you is like a 6-person room, but that would cost you like, it was like €100. And if I had a little bit more money, I would have I don't care, but at that point I was fucking broke. So I didn't have that kind of money. I should have just did it anyways. But, and he even told me, he's like, hey, sorry to be a cockblock, dude. And she was sitting there with me. Like, we're clearly like trying to set up to hook up. So it's like a cooperative thing. It's not always like this thing I have to like somehow figure out. And then she just like follows me. It's like she can be involved with it. But we ended up just like going in like the alleyway and just started making out and did it from there. Right. But you could do that too. Like, just start walking around the city. Like, again, if you get arrested, I mean, that's on you, because technically it's illegal. But ask her. You could be like, hey, I really want to be alone with you, but where could we go? Like, so you never made a move. It's better to make a move and fuck it up than not make it. Like, the one thing that I'll always say you can't really go wrong with. You can go wrong with complimenting too much. You can go wrong with, showing too much interest, smiling a lot, really like showing like you're way more interested than she is, right? You could always overdo that. But the one thing that's hard to overdo is like going for it, right? Like, you should always go for it. There's very few instances where you're with a girl and you shouldn't at least try. Especially in a situation, right? Because this girl, you just met her for a few days and she's leaving to halfway across the world tomorrow or whatever, and you didn't try anything with her? Like, what do you have to lose? So that's it. It started and remained indirect. I couldn't find a proper window to escalate. I just got very drunk. Okay, well, see, there's another part of it. You just got fucked up. So maybe, when I get drunk, that just means I'm gonna burn the fucking house down. Maybe when you get drunk, that means you get nervous or whatever, and you just don't know what to do. For me, it's just like, all right, I'm full animal brain. Like, let's just go. Yeah, you should have made a move. Just kiss her. Like, when in doubt, kiss her. When in doubt, pull her home. When in doubt, get alone with her. When in doubt, start going for it. So I think what you're doing now is you need to just start making. We were in 2 different hostels. Yeah. So then ask her, be like, oh, how many people are in your hostel? We were still at the bar talking with the bartenders as well. Well, yeah, man, now you're just being a social dude. And if you were chatting with the bartenders, I mean, if it was a guy bartender and your girl was cute, I mean, they were probably trying to flirt with her. You were being too social. That's not the time to be social. That's the time to be alone with a girl, right? Compliments when you're alone with them would be action. Yeah, but I think you don't need a compliment at that point. I think you could just try and kiss her. It's not like a game where you have to like, oh, I have to do step 1, then I have to do step 2. Like you can just be indirect with a girl and then she's alone with you. That's the same thing as a girl saying I'm willing to go on a date with you. We were celebrating my birthday that night. Well, what's better? Getting drunk or getting your dick sucked? Um how to show sexual interest without being creepy. That's very vague. But the good first step is to like some light touching, like touch her hand. Is she comfortable with you like putting your hand on her hand or putting your hand on her leg? That's a good first step. Also checking her out, like blatantly checking her out. The only time that stuff becomes creepy is when she doesn't want it. Like when a girl wants something, you can do everything and she's okay with it because she's okay with it. That's the important part. That's the line of creepy. Right? I mean, I know that sounds really simple, but it's the truth, right? If you and a girl like each other and you're sitting at a table having coffee and you stare at her, but she thinks you're hot, she's going to giggle and like it. It's not creepy. But if you're on a date with a girl and she's like kind of like meh about you and you're staring at her, it can kind of make her uncomfortable. Or like you're in a group and like she hasn't really shown you any interest and you're just staring at her. Well, yeah, she doesn't like, why is this guy staring at me? Then it's creepy. So the only way you know if you're being creepy or not is if you dip your toe in. Like always dip your toe in. Never go full like 100%. Right. The only time you go hard is when you're like really experienced and you know how girls are going to react to you. But even then, you play it safe. So you dip your toe in. Touch her hand. Is she comfortable with that? All right. Touch her knee. Is she comfortable with that? Okay. Touch her thigh. Is she comfortable with that? Okay. Sit close to her. Like, lean in a little bit. See how she reacts. Is she comfortable with your presence being very close? Okay. Go for a kiss. Oh, she's comfortable with that. Okay. Grab her ass. Okay. She's comfortable with that. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Slowly work your way up. What's your opinion on kissing a girl before pulling her? She's going to know what's going to happen next if there is a kiss. What's your opinion on kissing a girl before? Okay, 1 second. Okay, so a girl knowing what's coming next isn't the bad thing. It's her feeling guilty about what's coming next, right? So you make out with a girl, then you're like, let's get out of here. Well, I've done that, and I've had it go well, and then I've also done that and not had it go well. So is it really, or not even about her knowing what's going to come next, but is she at that point yet? I don't really think it's a big deal for girls to know, like, oh, we're going back to my place to hook up. If it's like, it's only bad if you're making it too obvious in a, this is really nuanced, but here's the thing. You kissing her and then pulling her home wasn't, I mean, now sometimes, yeah, like you make out with her and then you go and you try to pull her home. She's like, oh, we're going to go hook up. Right? And then that gets her like too in her head about it. That can be a situation. But at the same time, if she feels like she has a strong connection to you, you can kiss her and then pull her home and she totally knows what's going to be happening. So if you do want to play this like stealthy kind of game, like you don't really make it like obvious so that she doesn't feel like, oh yeah, like he knows we're going home and he's going to get me, like I'm easy. Yeah, it's super nuanced, dude. Like, see, like I have like 3 different conditional things going on in my head. Sometimes it can fuck you up, and sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes, actually, here's another scenario where you should kiss her because you do need to arouse her enough to be ready to go home with you. Like, let's say she's kind of lukewarm about you. She likes you, she thinks you're cute, but there's really not that spark. But then you kiss her. Now it's important. Now she's ready. Okay. So kissing her could actually be the thing that's going to get her home. So it's a little bit more complicated. Chase generally recommends not kissing. I have a bit of an opposite style. So it's very context dependent. I know that's confusing and not the answer you would like, but it's the truth. Do you plan on doing coaching for the next 10 years? We'll save up money for coaching. I don't know. I'll be 41. I'm not sure I'll still be doing this. I could be. Right? Because this is the thing that's going to make me money. So if I have to, I guess. I mean, I've already been doing it for 9 years. I started writing articles in 2014. So. Clarify, Hector, what I meant is early seduction versus long-term seduction where you're already in a relationship with the girl. Direct game is exciting and bold. Oh, you mean like long-term? Like you think that being direct with girls like in a relationship is going to make your value down and your attainability too high? No. Oh my God. No. The complete opposite. If you're dating a girl, then you should be even more direct. Like if she's your girlfriend, like telling her like she's beautiful and sexy and she's da-da-da and being super lovey-dovey. I mean, that's great. Girls would die for that. That's the thing that most guys don't do. Like, no, oh my God. Always direct, your attainability goes up because she already knows your behavior and your patterns. That means that's not what loses girls' interest, dude. I see. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and make a guess. I'm just going to be guessing for the way you're talking. You're not very experienced with girls. And this is totally just a theory crafting situation. Like, you're just like, this is totally theory. That's just my guess. Because being super romantic and direct with a girl once you're in a relationship is the opposite of bad. Like, she knows your behaviors and your patterns. Like, what? Of course she knows your behavior and patterns. She's your girlfriend. But if it's genuinely who you are... Okay, let me put it here. Let's try this, right? So you have a girl. She really likes you, right? And you always know that when she comes and gives you a compliment and kisses you on the cheek and tells you how sexy you are, she's going to suck your dick. Like, it's just a thing she does. It's her pattern, right? Well, in 6 months, when she's your girlfriend, and she comes up and gives you a kiss, she's like, you're so sexy. Are you going to be like, oh, I know your pattern. You're going to suck my dick. It's like, I'm not interested anymore. Like, that's silly. Doesn't make any sense, right? You only lose value to a girl when you lose value to her. Like, she's not showing interest and you continue to show all that interest. Well, that's not being direct isn't the problem there. Like, showing interest, it's the fact that you're showing interest at that moment in response to her not showing interest back. Like, when a girl's not showing interest, you pull back. Unless it's a situation where, like, she's upset about something. She's like, I'm fine. You're like, come on, baby. Talk to me. But you do it in, like, a charming, like, persistent kind of way. Like, and she's like, oh, fine. You know, when you made that comment earlier about my circles under my eyes, and, you know, it's like, oh, come on, baby. You know, maybe I was just talking shit, or I don't know. That was stupid, but it's okay. It's no problem. Okay, I forgive you. Blah, blah, blah. Right? So yeah, I think you're overthinking things on the theoretical angle. Do you have a girlfriend? Have you had a girlfriend? Yeah, imbalance of interest. That's the problem. Not being direct. What situation is it better to try to escalate first time on a girl in public location opposed to going to someone's house? it's always better to go to someone's house. Escalating in public is far harder. It's far harder. Of course. I could only tell she was interested because she was complying with following me. Yeah, she was going alone with you. Of course she's interested in you. That's all you need. I mean, that's like saying, well, you know, the only reason I know a girl likes you because she went on a date with me. Yeah, it's a pretty big fucking sign she likes you. Hey, Hector, I'm the guy staying at SDSU for one semester. Oh, yeah, you said you overcome the cringe by approaching a lot. I wanted to do that on campus, but I'm quite a beginner and see so many faces again. Should I still approach on campus or only do that in PB, gas lamp, blah, blah, blah? Dude, you're there for one semester. Like I told you, just go. Who the fuck cares? Just go talk to girls. You're there for one semester. Where do I put my hands when I'm talking to girls? Could you demonstrate if you don't mind? Like, oh, like what do I do with my hands? Like, you can cross your arms. It's fine. You know? You can just like, be like, uh-huh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, this is very comfortable posture. Like, some people might tell you, oh, it's closed off body language. No, dude, you're just relaxing. I mean, if you're like this, then it's closed off, right? But I'm just relaxing. Yeah, just cross your arms. Or you could put one hand in one pocket and then put the other hand down. Hi, Nana. You want to go on? You want to be on TV? Duh, famous girl. You want to be on the internet? Say, duh, everyone needs to see how pretty I am. Oh, duh, papa. Hey. Oh, por. You like all this attention, huh? Okay, go. Or stay here. Whoop, watch your head. Well, you're purring, so you obviously like it. Hi, I used your patented opener. Patented, yes. First time on Tuesday, the girl had a disgusted look on her face and didn't reciprocate my attempted handshake, so I just left. Is this a typical response? Yeah. A girl not being interested is usually pretty common. A lot of girls are not going to be interested. I'm guessing you did, hey, I think you're really cute and I want to say hi. Yeah. Disgusted look, that's the worst you're going to get. That's actually the worst you're going to get. It's not typical. Most of the time, girls are just going to ignore it. Nah. You just got her Instagram, Kirk? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Would have been better if you got your dick sucked. What, Nana? Huh? What, Nana? Huh? Sorry, my cat is currently thirsty for attention. Hey, Hector, hope you're well. I've been working on my fundamentals and want to know which fundamentals you recommend to get down first that will yield the most results. Fashion and your voice. 100%. Fashions, like, get your fashion down. Nana. And get your voice down. You're twerking in the camera now? Huh? You should get a fucking OnlyFans. Slut. Eh? Oh, yeah. Shake that bulchka. Waiting for a relationship book from you, just like your texting guide. Yeah, I'll make a relationship book. I'll make it a course, probably, not a book. And she gets cold. I don't know if it's a value problem or attainability problem. They're similar in behavior. Yeah, they are. Yeah, you're right. If a girl goes cold, that's the thing. It's like, you got to know what started the fire. I mean, a burnt down house looks like a burnt down house. But was it because there was a gas leak and then like a burner like caught fire? So it was something that was just kind of unfortunate circumstances? Or did you leave a candle burning and your cat knocked it over and then the house burned down, right? Why did the house burn down? Oh, step, 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 da, step, 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 Papa. Give me. Hey, Chichibuchka. Sorry, I'm giving my cat love. What's the best way to deal with the guy from your AMOG story last week about the guy with no moral compass? You are obsessed with these situations, my friend. Like I said, what I did last week was basically, guys, there was a guy who was a piece of shit, and he would always try to like take the girls that you have, right? He was an asshole, probably a psychopath. And I was chatting with this one girl, and he came up and was like, "Hey, Hector, how are you?" And then started doing his game where he like self-deprecates and insults himself and has really absurd humor. You know, like she asks, like, "How are you?" Be like, "Oh, I'm fucking depressed. I want to kill myself." Just like, what? You know, it's like very absurd humor, and it gets attention. And she was kind of paying attention to it, but I knew his game, so I'm like, "Nah, get down. Get." One second, my cat's terrorizing me. Get down. And you know, the fuck was I saying? Nah, get it. And so I basically, it looks like, I'll show you how it looks. Like, you're the girl, right? You're looking at me. So I'm just like looking at him. I'm like looking off, looking back, look at her, smile, like you see what he's doing. Look at him, be like, and he's like, "All right, man, you know, say, okay, cool, see you now." Boom. Like, give a little bit of attention, look away, a little bit of attention, look, because you don't want to like totally ignore him. Just mostly, like, give him like 20% attention, and give her attention too. Like, look at her, like, put her on the spot. Like, okay, hey, are you buying into this? How good looking or muscular was the guy? He's not good looking at all, and he's not muscular, but he plays football. But he's a quarterback, so he wasn't not very big. But no, not good looking. It's nice to hear since I'm currently working on depth. Nada! You terrorist! I'm curious where the stream is. 1 second. I'm gonna listen. Oh, it's behind. Oh, it's pretty live. Oh, I was behind. That's why. I was like, why am I not live? There we go. Okay. I thought it was like 10 minutes behind. How was your time in San Diego? Why did you move here for a while? Because, wallahi, this city is expensive as fuck. I moved there because it just felt right. I graduated college and I wanted to, get away and go somewhere. And so I thought about Denver, but I had a bad feeling about it. Like, there was something off about the vibe. And I was like, all right, well, my other choice was San Diego, because my dad actually taken me to San Diego a long time ago before. So I had spent some time there when I was like 12. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, girls in bikinis, beach life, California, just kind of, it was just I didn't want to go to LA because that seemed disgusting. So San Diego was like, okay, I'm going to go to Cali. And it was the right choice. It was just it wasn't too thought out. I usually follow my intuition a lot, and it felt like the right, because I went to Denver. I remember I visited Denver for a week just to experience it, because I was like, I don't know, I need to think of somewhere to go. And it was okay, but I had a vibe about it. There was something off about the energy. But San Diego had the vibe that I wanted. Same with Bucharest. And then same with Ukraine. Like, I kept going where it felt right. And it always turned out really good. Speaking of that story, did you ever outgame someone over a girl? Sure, of course. And I've gotten outgamed plenty of times. When can I think of a situation where I outgamed someone? Like, it depends what you mean. Like, I'm already talking to her and some guy tries to swoop in, or like I swoop in. Like, I've swooped in on a guy before. Like, I remember this one chick. She was standing outside of a bar in Bucharest, and I was looking for a cigarette or a light. So I had my cigarette, and I think I had a lighter, but I just wanted to use it as an excuse to pick her up. I would do that. So she was chatting with this guy, and he doesn't have game. His buddy had game. His buddy was like this kind of cooler looking alpha guy, but I think he was like helping his buddy. But he was sitting back. Like, he was being a good bro. But I walk up and I'm just like, I look at her and I said, "Hey, do you have a light?" She's like, "Oh yeah, here you go." And I said, "Okay, cool. Appreciate it." And I kind of take a step back because I know that coming in too aggressive is going to make me look like a douche and it's going to not look good. And I think I made a comment on her. I think she had a backpack or something. And I was just like, cool backpack or something. And she's like, "Oh, thanks." And just totally switched her attention towards me. And then the guy was sitting there like, now this guy clearly has no experience with girls. So I wouldn't even, this is like beating up a teenager. And just started chatting with her, and her attention totally switched to me. And the friend, he knew what was going on, and he kind of looked angry. He walked up and kind of joined the conversation. And I was just sitting back, they were speaking to each other in French because she was Romanian, but she also spoke French. And so they were speaking a different language. And the guy kind of tried to get some attention back a few times, but didn't really work. And then they were going to go inside, and the more like alpha friend was like, from the body language, like, "Hey, you want to come inside with us?" Like, tried to pull it away from me because obviously I just stole his buddy's girl. But she's like, no, I'll stay out here. And they're like, all right. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I ended up hooking up with her later that night, but it was bad. She had a boyfriend. She was really toxic. I mean, I had a lot of fun, I'll be honest, but it was wrong because she had a boyfriend. So, do you have any time coming up soon for a consultation call? Interested in coaching? Yeah, sure. Of course. Send a, here, I'll give you a link and sign up for a consultation and put in the description that we chatted on the live stream so I know it's you. And then here, use this. So use that link, just give your email, give your time zone, and when you're free to chat. We could do this weekend, we could do tonight even. Right? I got to go play Dungeons and Dragons. It's every Sunday right after my stream. But then I'll be home around 7. And I can give you a call tonight. But just put your phone number on that form and just, use the name that you're using here, Bardenor, and I'll know it's you. And then, yeah, we can even chat tonight. Okay, last few questions. Went on a date a month ago. We didn't get far physically, but I think it went well. She's very warm over text, but keeps saying I would, but she's too busy. If you went on a date a month ago and she's still being sweet, it's a good sign. But if you're not getting that final compliance because she's too busy, I think you might be second in running. There might be another guy she's talking to. I'd have to see her texts. Again, this is a situation where you got to show me texts. You got to show me the text. That's the thing about these context is everything. Like this guy who earlier showed me all those texts, now I totally understand why she was reacting the way she was. He was just like, "Oh, she's getting mad about it, little things." I'm like, "Okay, that doesn't sound like the whole story." Then I see the whole story, and it's like, "Okay, that makes more sense." No, I haven't been to Orange County. No, I haven't. Any places you recommend in San Diego? Where are your favorite spots on and off campus you can remember? I didn't spend a lot of time on campus. I only went on campus a few times. I mostly walked around Gaslamp and PB. That's where I would go pick up girls for day game. And then night game, because I was working at a nightclub. It was called Cake. It's shut down now. There's still one open in Scottsdale, Arizona. That's the original one. That one's still open. But, you know, any of the bars and clubs if you like that. But I recommend day game. Go to the beach. Go pick up girls at the beach. So, but yeah, Gaslamp and PB. That's it. You don't need, just walk around. When did you used to find out about girls having boyfriends, before or after? Yeah, usually before, because I didn't care too much. Because I had some weird morality where it's like, all right, well, you know, if he's not satisfying her, then. But as I went to find out, it's a pretty shitty thing to do. There's probably a few times where I did it and I didn't know she had a boyfriend, but I don't know if I ever found out after. I'm trying to think. No, I can't remember, but I did it. I did it more than a few times with girls who I knew, but I straight up knew, and I kept going for it, which is wrong. But can't change the past. All right, cool. All right, Bart, I'll look forward to your message, and I'll give you a call tonight so we can chat about coaching. If anyone else is interested in coaching, there's that link, and the link didn't post. I'm on a mobile, so not sure it didn't post. Huh. That's weird. It didn't post. I mean, you should be able to see the chat, right? Here, let me try it again. Oh, there we go. It didn't like fully send before, but now it worked because now I can actually click it. Let me know if that works. Oh, it didn't send. Yeah, something about it because I can't even click it. How about there? Is it working now? Let me know if that link went through. So yeah. All right, I'll just wait to get the confirmation on the link working, and then I shall fuck off. No? Didn't show up? Still waiting to hear back. If in doubt, Bard, you can also just message me on Instagram. You can message me there. And just say you're coming from the live stream. Give me a confirmation when you get either of them. I'll wait. Link works. Perfect. Cool. All right, boys. I will see you guys very soon. Good luck. Be good. Be honest. Be strong. I shall see you soon. Ciao, ciao.